Hello, demons of the Alliance. Who the fuck is ShockofGod?
Through my mouth. I was just really scared.
ShockofGod. But I prefer to say shock of fraud. Because that's what you are. And even though you deny it constantly, you make videos where you declare yourself as the holy saint, the one who never tells a lie. Are you sure you're not a liar? Are you sure that if you want to get rid of someone else's channel just because you disagree with it, and you don't have the power to take it away, are you sure you wouldn't be using the elements of deception in order to get what you want? I think you do. I think you do want to find power in the underworld, where you need to deceive other people in order to get what you want. You want other people's channels to get suspended, just because you don't like the channels. That's why. And you want to have authority over YouTube, so that you can decide which of the channels and videos are allowed to remain uploaded. And I'm here to put a halt to that, using the ToT, Trolls of Terror, their powers, as they are the center of information. Now, for those of you who are uninformed yet, there are two channels of videos that were made by ShockofGod. However, one of those channels are made by ShockofGod but aren't uploaded by ShockofGod. This is due to the fact that the person who created the channel has opted other people to use criticism without being blocked or without being under the filter of comments pending approval. Now, if you go to ShockofGod's channel, you can clearly see that he has posted a lot of videos where only his Christian Fellowship members are allowed to post on there. And the only reason why ShockofGod allows only his fellow Christians to post there is because he favors compliments above contempt. And he fears criticism. You can test this if you will by posting your criticism on his videos. You will soon find out that he will block you. In addition, if you want to criticize his videos, you can try out ShockofShite's channel, but I don't really know if that would bring you to a certain point where ShockofGod would notice you. So in order to bring a rise in ShockofGod, I have endeavored to find out a couple of layers, which have led me to make this video, and I hope that he is going to watch and criticize it in his mind, because I think he will. And I think that he will eventually contact the police, because he dislikes my channel and he thinks that I am threatening him. So let's put his name to the test. Now, if you want a little inside information about ShockofGod, I suggest you search his name in the YouTube search bar. I trust you find a lot of counter-response videos which are not really connected to the videos as a video response to ShockofGod's videos. Why? Because ShockofGod hates criticism. Because he fears that criticism is going to collapse his belief system, as it is already crumbling. However, if you search for those videos, you can find a lot of people telling stories about what they think ShockofGod is doing. And it has come to my attention that more of these type of videos are appearing on YouTube. So I find it rather strange that ShockofGod describes himself as a saint. A marine of Christians who's fighting Satan's Mecca. Really? Are you sure that what you are fighting is not stronger than you are? Because I think you are a weak coward. I think that if you can't produce the power for yourself, you are going to seek it in someone else. And you are going to deceive that person so it will side with you, so that you will eventually use his or her power in order to get what you want. You are a parasite. Consider that. ShockofGod, your last video was about calling other Christians so that you inform them how you get other people's channels suspended. And just because you don't have the power on your own, and just because the YouTube flagging system is not giving you the answer that you're hoping for, you think you can find your powers in a law system, such as reporting it to the police. So, what you decide to do is to report to the police about a specific video that you find, in your opinion, illegal. Well, you want to call it illegal, but if it really is legal, and you are going to report it to the police, and the police has a personal opinion on it, doesn't really mean that the video is illegal. In addition, if you're going to the police and report my video, then I want the officer to listen, and listen closely. Because what I am about to say may shock you, instead of ShockofGod. So, my dear officer, are you ready? Prepare yourself for a shock of fraud. So, my dear officer, if you are watching this video, I suggest you take a look at this ShockofGod person who has reported this video, if he does. And look at him in the eyes. Look closer. Look very close, because the eyes reflect the truth of someone's soul and his intentions. Truly look closer, and you will see what ShockofGod is all about. What ShockofGod is also doing behind the scenes is what he's not going to tell you. But I trust, and it wouldn't surprise me, that if he wants someone's channel to be taken down, he would use the illegal ways in case the police is not going to give him his wish. And for example, I would not be surprised if he's going to use systems that allow him to hack and break into other people's systems. I wouldn't be surprised if he would use the phishing method to gain control and access over someone else's channel, using a layered website over the YouTube original website where you have to log in, and thus he can gain control over your system. Be very careful with this person. Now, if you want to uncover a couple of things about him, I suggest you listen to his voice. Not his words, but just his voice, how he presents it. You can clearly, if you're very good at it, you can clearly anticipate his mind. You can clearly see that what he's trying to tell you is based on lies. He's a very poor salesman, if you would ask me. And ShockofGod is using other people to do his dirty job. So, if you want this ShockofGod to stop from becoming more powerful with his lies than he already is, I suggest you join the Alliance of Demons as a vlogger. Currently, I have my eyes set on this intriguing individual called Face Punch Divided. I will contact you pretty soon, because I too think that you have a very skilled way of presenting things, so I cannot neglect you, and neither would I. Well, the next time you hear Flamestack remix, that means that I am here to call out someone. And when you hear the Volt Catfish remix, that means we have claimed a new victory. So, when it comes to posting my music on YouTube, I will present non-copyrighted images, non-copyrighted music. So there is no way you can DMCA on that.
Well, for now I would say enjoy, you demons of the Alliance.